is Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2021 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of February 2021, and this reading is for the fire sign of Aries, our Rams. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today. I hope everyone's safe and well. Thanks for hitting that like button and that subscribe button, and for all your support, feedback, and comments. So this reading is for Aries for the last 2 weeks of February. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Aries. It's also if you're cross-watching for an Aries as well, it's all relevant. But watch all of your signs if you know them for additional insight, because it's a general reading, and of course they can resonate a little differently for everyone. If you find that this reading or any of the readings resonate for you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something, you can get my contact info by clicking on the description link below. Click on that little arrow. You'll see my email address there. Feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full-time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at working with people's schedules to get readings set up as quickly as possible. So email me if you're interested. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Okay, Aries, let's see what's going on for you for the last half of February 2021. Okay, Aries, we begin with the Ace of Cups, followed by the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Cups, followed by the Six of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Magician, and from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Two of Pentacles. So your overall energy is the Two of Pentacles, which indicates, Aries, that you may be trying to decide between two things at a crossroads. You may be deciding whether or not to leave and go somewhere, or how you're going to do it. It's interesting, as many years as you can work with the cards, you sometimes notice things about them that you've never noticed before. And I'm just getting an image of this man on the shore who's holding two pentacles. In some decks, he's actually juggling two pentacles, and the ship is coming in or leaving. I first saw it as coming in, and he's trying to make up his mind whether or not he's going to get on the ship or not and go wherever the ship is headed to that particular destination. So for some of you, this is going to be about a relationship, home, and family. For others of you, I still feel like there's a relationship central in here, and home and family, but it may be more related to moving or relocating or taking a journey or a trip of some kind. There's some indication here as to trying to decide whether or not to do it, or how you're going to do it, or if you're going to go to that particular destination or another one. We have the Ace of Cups with the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a defensive card. It represents standing up for yourself, an ideology, defending something that you've put a lot of work and effort into. It can represent being challenged by a person, place, or situation. And over it is the Ace of Cups, which is what you're trying to hold on to or trying to attain. Now, the Ace of Cups can sometimes be new love and romance. Sometimes it represents being at a place in your life where the heart is beginning to open up again. It's a card that focuses on self-love, self-knowledge, and self-awareness. The beginning of that. And then we have the Ten of Cups, which is the traditional happy home card, family, marriage, blessings, childbirth, the white picket fence, feeling like you're at a place where everything and everyone that you love has come together again. Maybe this is reunion. Maybe you're thinking of going to see family, going to be with family, living with family. But underneath that, we have the Six of Pentacles, which can be a tricky card because on its surface, it appears to be very philanthropic, meaning that somebody is generously, throwing all of these pentacles, their wealth out the window. But it's often called the breadcrumb card because while it represents giving and receiving, the person who's actually in control is the one who's doing all the giving. He's weighing out all of his wealth, property, resources, what he has. He's obviously well-to-do, and periodically he's throwing pentacles out the window to these waiting, grasping hands. But he's not looking at who he's giving it to, and they're portrayed here as just hands. There's almost a sense of objectification here, or giving on a whim, giving what you want, when you want, at your convenience. Not necessarily you, it could be the other person. It may be, because it's an underlying card, it may be that you're afraid. Perhaps you have an opportunity to do something here, Aries, that you're afraid of. Because on the surface it looks good, or on paper it looks good, but there may be some underlying fears here about whether or not you're going to have to defend that which belongs to you, and that could be anything from personal property to your own independence and self-awareness, or being at the beginning of a new emotional path and wondering if what appears to be good, or this connection with home and family, is actually in fact going to be good for you or not. If it's going to be hit and miss, and if you're going to have to kind of, there's a sense here perhaps of new beginnings. And this is for the people that this isn't resonating as a love relationship reading, because while I feel there's a relationship or relationship central here, they feel more familial or linked to family and less about, the romantic kind of love. It feels like there's perhaps a new start in your life, or you're embarking on a new journey. You're just kind of at the beginning, and, the emotions and heart, and okay, what am I doing, and who am I, and what do I really want to do? And there's this connection with home and family, and it looks good. The work is actually going into it, here with the Eight of Pentacles, working hard, diligently, detail-oriented, maybe doing all the physical, practical work around this. But underneath there is it feels like there's concerns about whether or not this is what you should be doing, if this is going to be good for you, if you're maybe going to find yourself in a discontent or unsatisfactory position because of this choice. It feels like you're moving toward this choice, or you're making plans to do this, but there still might be some kind of mental juggling going back and forth in your head. We do have the Magician under the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card, he's the manifestor, he's the entrepreneur. The Magician is a card that represents, the Magician is somebody who's worked hard to get to where he's at, which is the Magician. He started off as an apprentice, and through a long road, trial and error, success and failure, he now has control over all of the elements: earth, air, fire, water. So he knows how to take what he thinks about and what he holds in his heart and manifest that into physical reality by combining his knowledge, tools, experience, wisdom, and God-given talents to make something actually happen. So there's a lot of work happening here. It feels like you've more or less decided to do something, although you're still kind of indecisive at times, but you have some underlying worries about it as well. So let's clarify. Let's clarify the Two of Pentacles. For others of you, before I do this, this is actually centered maybe around a more romantic relationship, and your home and family life, centered around a romantic relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. And there's some indication that this is an already established relationship, an already established home life, and there is some indication maybe things have gotten kind of stale. Maybe you're wondering if a renewal is possible. Some of you, should you put the work into it? Some of you may feel like your partner has been withdrawing. They're not giving as much to you, to the home and family, as they used to. And you may be concerned about that. You might be concerned that they've found somebody new. For some of you, it might be that you may have found somebody new, and you're not quite sure what to do. Because there is some indication of, going back and forth between one thing and another thing. So let's clarify that Two of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands. So we have the Seven of Wands twice. So a lot of energy pointing to this, defending or guarding or protecting that which is yours because you feel it might be being challenged. The Eight of Pentacles again. So we have the Eight of Pentacles twice. The Worker Bee card, hard at work, putting a lot of work into something, defending something that you have a lot invested in. It might be for some of you, especially if this is a physical moving process, you may be simply trying to decide between, what to keep and what not to keep. Maybe what you're wanting to keep, you have all these memories and things attached to, and so you don't want to let go of it. But some of it, perhaps you need to let go of it. And then the Nine of Pentacles, because this is about independence, self-sufficiency, and self-empowerment. I'm getting this strong sense, regardless of which side of the story you're on, of what to keep and what to let go of. All right, let's continue clarifying, get a clearer picture. Clarify the Ace of Cups. Clarify the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Jumpers here. The Star, renewed faith, hope restored, a new beginning, which is interesting because that's kind of what the Ace of Cups represents too. They represent a new start or a new opportunity. In the tarot, chronologically, the Star comes after the Tower being that unexpected event which comes down, and often, not always, but often represents the end, the destruction of something, the end of something, so that you can have a brand new beginning and transformation. So then the smoke clears from the Tower card event or happening, you clear the rebel away, and then the energy of the Star card comes in, which is renewed and restored hope, faith, and optimism. And then we have the King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Here you are with strength, facing your fears, doubts, insecurities in this new beginning. Let's clarify the Eight of Pentacles and the Magician. The Lovers, the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Wands. Making secret plans, secret choices. Again, I'm getting two distinctly separate stories, Aries. For some of you, but there's a relationship in home and family, possibly family, still central in each of these stories. It's just that one, it might be more on the romantic side, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, and the other one is just on the family relationship side, perhaps one relationship in particular. For those of you for whom this isn't romantic, there's some kind of new beginning, some kind of new awareness that's just burgeoning, that's just beginning in you. Something is kind of giving birth in you. There's a restored faith of hope, a renewed sense of hope after something perhaps very difficult or tragic or painful happened. It's scary though, new beginnings. It's kind of like going into the unknown. Perhaps you're on your own, or you're at a place where you're focusing just on yourself for the first time in your life, or for the first time in a long time. And that's precious to you, and you want to hold on to that. There is some indication of home and family here. It might be something's happening and you're going to visit family for a while, or you're moving in with family, or something of that sort. Because there is travel and movement kind of indicated here as well. And again, on the surface, and you know, it's like you're putting the effort and work into making the plans and doing all the stuff, the things. But there is some underlying concern here about how that's going to work out, or if the place that you've chosen to move to or live in is a right idea. Is it with family? Is it by family? Or for the Ten of Cups, it might not be blood family related. It might be that you've chosen a place to go, but there's some underlying worry about whether or not that's going to work out for you or not. It looks like the Ten of Cups on the surface, but is it really? You know, that feels kind of normal for like a new beginning, going on something, a new venture, you know, and then just going ahead and manifesting it. But there is some indication of making plans and all the stuff that you're doing, whether it's the physical, mental, or emotional work that you're keeping to yourself or you're keeping hidden. And I think we got this for you before, whether it was the beginning of February or January somewhere, you know, making plans to take action or move or travel. But keeping it to yourself or not telling people about the decision. Now, for those of you for whom this is more of a romantic love situation, relationship, you know, centered around your home place, it may be that, you know, it feels like an already established relationship and home life here, and family, if there's family too. It may be that the relationship has had some difficulties or has gotten stale. It may be that you or your partner, or maybe a combination of both, have maybe over time started to give and invest less and less. But I don't feel like ultimately you want to keep that, but you're worried about whether a renewal can happen, you know, kind of reigniting the flame sort of thing. You know, with the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles, it feels like there's a third party situation here. Now, a third party situation doesn't necessarily mean a romantic third party situation, like another man or woman involved here in terms of infidelity and cheating. It might be that for some of you. Maybe that's what the choice is, being caught between an established relationship and home life and somebody new. It might be that for some of you. But a third party situation simply means a person, place, a situation that is an obstacle or a block in between you and your primary person. You know, it might be work, it might be maybe you travel a lot, maybe you like to go in and come back and go in and come back, you know, regardless of whether your mate is with you or not, or maybe it's your mate. Because there's some indication here of trying to make a decision kind of undercover to go somewhere or not, or to take action on something or not. But there's a sense that it's not being revealed to your primary person because of, I don't know, fill in the blank. It's a general reading, so your reasons could be, you know, are quite varied. But trying to manifest that nonetheless. It's a bit fuzzy, but those are the two distinctive stories I'm getting. Do I stay with this or do I go? Some of you, it's do you go back to a cycle that you were living in? So maybe it's prior to the relationship, you were just kind of here and there and all over the place and going where you wanted, when you wanted, whenever you wanted. Relationships, not relationships, or maybe a series of relationships. And you're wondering, because this established relationship or home life maybe has gotten stale, or you're wondering if it's still viable, should you go back to that old way or cycle of living, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm getting. Hopefully that makes sense to somebody. It must, because I feel pressed to say it. So I'm going to ask for some advice and guidance to wrap this up with, Aries. What should Aries do? What's the best way for Aries to navigate through this energy? The Fool. Go on a new journey. Do something you've never done before. Take a risk. Step off the beaten path. So for those of you who are literally starting off a new journey, this is about doing it. Doing it even though it's risky. This is about stepping off the beaten path and leaving it to God, Spirit, your angels, and guides. Just putting one foot in front of the other and seeing where the path takes you. For others of you for whom this is like a romantic relationship situation, the Fool, I mean, it's fundamentally the same energy. It's doing something you've never done before, which, if you have a certain pattern of way of doing things in this situation, means to do it differently this time. Doing it in a different way, even though it feels scary, even though it feels risky. The Sun and the Ten of Cups, again, beautiful, because this is actually what's going to, if you have the courage and the strength, remember, facing fears, doubts, and insecurities, Aries. If you have the courage and strength to step into the unknown, take a chance, do something you haven't done before, do something in a completely different way than you normally would have done it prior, it's going to work out so much better than you think it will. Go for broke. That's what I'm getting. That's kind of lovely. Okay, Aries, that is your reading for the last half of February. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope above all that it was helpful, because that's why we do these readings. And I hope it wasn't too confusing. It's got to resonate for somebody. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading for yourself, or perhaps as a gift for a friend, family, or loved one. Feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can see that info by clicking on the description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the March 2021 general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, be very blessed, and I hope to hear back from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.